Right. Hi guys, we're back and we're doing a catch up of what's happened in Euros and what's been happening in the footballing world in like the past week because a lot's happened. I think we're going to start off talking about England versus Croatia because we did do a prediction and I think did any of us predict 1-0?
I think Ali predicted, was it 2-1?
Yeah. No,
I think you might.
I predicted 2-1 as well.
Did you? Oh yeah, I predicted 1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you two got it right in terms of England winning.
yeah, but that was more just being optimistic because we're from England.
Mm.
It was. I'm honestly, when I said Modric, yeah, I, I still because people like he's not the Modric of 2018. I think players like Modric, you don't put a year on them. It's like he's
Mm.
Modric because what you lose as you get older is pace. Pace was never his game. Pace isn't what made him the best player in the world. Like
Mm.
Iniesta and Xavi, right? They were the best in the world for their whole career, even at their oldest when they're playing. So
Mm.
yeah,
And they never really broke a sweat during the game. They
never.
just glide by and
Yeah,
control the game completely. And to be
exactly.
honest, so in the first half, I thought that's what was going to happen. After our sort of 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so, Modric began to get on the ball, and I thought,
Yeah,
oh no, this is what's going to happen now. He's going to start controlling
yeah.
the game.
I'll
But
be honest, England didn't stamp any authority on the game at all. They
mm,
didn't. I didn't. Calvin Phillips was the one guy winning the ball back.
mm,
Do you want to actually know something? You know Bielsa, right?
mm,
So in training, there's Bielsa ball. That's what everyone calls what Leeds play. In training, they do this thing called murder ball. Okay. So the starting 11 that he's going to pick for the next game, puts them on the training pitch. He gets the under 21s, under 23s, or what? No, he gets
mm,
all the academy, like old enough, over 18, gets all of them. So, and it's just roll on, roll off on the other team. So imagine this anytime, so they're doing it 11v11, but anytime the opposition gets tired, brings on a new player.
mm,
Whereas the starting 11 that's going to start, in the Premier League game, they stay on. So, do you
mm.
know what I'm trying to say? Every minute of
Yeah,
the game, they're playing against fresh players. That's why these Leeds players, their fitness, they don't have many injuries, if you
yeah.
noticed.
The stamina levels are crazy.
So,
Yeah.
I was watching another podcast and they said they were surprised Patrick Bamford never went. But I just don't think there's space for him, to be honest.
No, I think especially like with the likes of Foden, Grealish, Mount, those were your attacking players. Then you've got your defensive midfielders, your defenders, and then before you know it, you like the two main strikers we've got, was it three with Watkins? Is Watkins there?
No, he was in the. I think he was in the. He was in the provisional squad, but
Yeah.
he's not in the main squad.
Yeah. So it's just Kane and Calvert-Lewin, and I mean,
Yeah,
you can't really pick anyone else over Kane with his numbers
but how
this
do you
season.
feel
And
about Kane in the Croatia game?
um you can probably say it wasn't really his game. I don't really think
Interesting.
we can judge him completely on that game.
No, no, no way. But, I mean, I would never judge him even if he had three bad games because well, we've seen what he can do. But I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, like, is Southgate's obviously giving out the tactics. I didn't see Kane in the box. Like Kane was barely in the box.
Yeah. Mm.
Like, I was thinking, that Sterling goal. Technically, should that not be Kane on the finish when you think of it? Like that's Kane's a striker.
Yeah.
Kane
Yeah.
should be
Could
in the
or
box
Kane
at
should
that
be
point.
in and around there
Yeah. And
anyway,
I,
but
I
he
noticed
wasn't.
him dropping deep, and he did that in the World Cup.
Mm.
So, and Kane, if he wants to win top goal scorer, he can't mess about. Like Lukaku already got 2 goals in his first
Yeah.
game, and
Mm.
we didn't score yesterday. But Lukaku's getting the goals in. I think Harry Kane's still got the chance of getting the Golden Boot. I mean,
Um, maybe not the Golden Boot, but
I
definitely
don't think.
chance of scoring and being up there.
Who do you think will win
I
the
think
Golden Boot?
Golden Boot. I'd probably say someone like Lukaku because at international level he's
He's too
crazy.
good. He's crazy at international
Yeah.
level. So, what do you think it is though?
I
Is it
think
because
it's
you have like a
first.
De Bruyne on the pitch with you?
Yeah, partially that. I think it's also because of their system as well, like the way they play. With
Yeah,
England, you've got players like Sterling who scored, and the players behind him, Foden, Mount, Grealish, Rashford, Sancho, those sort of players. But with Belgium, the way they play is, I mean, it's similar to ours where we just have one striker up front,
yeah.
but he sort of stays up there and he's like their main target. But sometimes
No,
Kane's dropping deep.
yeah. I
So
reckon if we do play the three at the back anytime, I think Kane gets to play further forward
yeah,
because then, I mean, what do you think about picking two right backs and playing Trippier at left back?
I
I,
mean
I was
it's a
so I was so surprised when it first happened. I'll be honest, Trippier did not have a bad game, but I'm thinking you've got Luke Shaw, Chilwell on the bench. Why would you not choose
yeah.
them?
I mean, you got to feel for the likes of Chilwell and Shaw being left-footed, left backs and
Yeah,
they're
but
being
you're thinking,
chosen
what do I have
over.
to do to get into this squad?
Yeah. I think he's like set pieces as well. Like he's good on free kicks and corners. But then you think, you could always have Luke Shaw taking a corner
Could
or
always
Ben
could have
Chilwell.
always bloody bought Ward Prowse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like that, we had 2 free kicks, didn't we? And I genuinely think one of them goes in if you have Ward Prowse.
Mm,
And
definitely.
then the score's not 1-0
And
from
if you
a
have
Raheem
Grealish playing,
Sterling.
you've
I
got
was
more
so
chances
fuming
of
that
free
Grealish didn't
kicks.
get on the pitch, Oh my god. I think the whole nation just wants Grealish to play because everyone
Yeah.
knows how good he is.
I mean,
Southgate
he's
just
got to
doesn't see
start him
it.
against Scotland. He's got to start him against Scotland,
Must
hasn't
be.
he?
I'm hearing Reece James and Luke Shaw are starting tonight. That's the rumours.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
But then hopefully Grealish. Listen, if Grealish is playing, I can't see us losing because this guy creates something out of nothing. He's done it for Villa.
Mm.
When he plays for Villa, he's not playing with Harry Kane up top, and he's not playing with Maguire and Stones behind him.
Mm.
He doesn't have that security, and now he has that security. What is Grealish even going to do? He's going to do so much.
Mm.
Bellingham got on the pitch, didn't he? Or didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
Yeah,
did.
it was
For
nice to
sure.
see Bellingham play.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
as the
Youngest ever player.
youngest, yeah, at the Euros for England. Yeah, I
So
mean, it was good to see him on. He played well. I mean, there was only about 10 minutes or so he played,
yeah,
so not too
but
much.
it's nice to see it because it gives you more hope. It's taking the risks because at the end of the day, he might have said, no, Jude's 17. Let's not bring him on because what if he plays a wrong back pass? Or it's not a big risk, but for Gareth Southgate, it's a risk. Let's be real.
Mm.
He doesn't take any risks. So yeah, it was nice to see Bellingham on the pitch.
Mm.
I don't have an issue that we didn't start off all guns blazing in the Euros. And I still think you can win it if you don't start off all guns blazing because
Yeah,
Portugal didn't
definitely.
last time.
Yeah.
I still think the favourites are Portugal. After
Mm.
Ronaldo, how he's been performing.
Do you think? I think
Yeah,
there's a
Portugal.
big shot for France. The way that they played.
France is just dangerous, man. Mbappe is so dangerous.
Oh,
He got an offside. It was a goal, but it was offside, wasn't it? That was a wicked goal,
yeah.
wicked finish. Yeah.
And Mbappe when he ran past Hummels, he had about 10 yards to catch up, and he still did it. It was just that
Oh my
touch
god!
that
Yeah,
took it
I remember that.
across.
That acceleration was on
Yeah.
another level. I remember that. I mean, I know Hummels is getting old, right? But that was crazy.
That was, yeah.
I tell you, who's going to be dangerous? Is Giroud in the squad, the front squad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dangerous. I tell you what, because
He's on the bench though. I mean, Benzema
that's where he's
started,
most
didn't
dangerous, isn't it? You bring
he?
Giroud on for the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes. I'm telling you, he'll get a goal,
True.
and the goal will be like one of the best headers you've seen the whole tournament. I'm going to call it now. Giroud's going to score a banging header. Benzema's back in the France squad. It was his first goal since 2016 in the French squad, That's crazy.
Whoa.
I was thinking.
But he's a better striker, I think, than Giroud at club level. Plus, he's been playing regularly and he's been scoring as well.
He's got the most champions. He's got like 6 Champions Leagues, isn't he? Giroud does. No, what's his name? Benzema?
Yeah.
Something like that. 5 champions. No, wait. He's the 3rd top Champions League goal scorer after Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I think obviously Lewandowski will overtake him. But I think we should talk about the Portugal game though. Ronaldo missed the sitter, missed the not an open goal, but a tap in, and then it comes back. The penalty, I'll let the penalty slide. Actually, maybe we shouldn't because you know how everyone just thinks Ronaldo scored a penalty. When you think of it, but just to keep scoring the penalties though, this guy does not miss a penalty. I mean, how many did he score for Juventus? And they're just it's going in before he hits it. Then his second goal.
He looked so confident on the spot as well.
So confident, man. This is what I'm trying to say. This is why I don't think no matter who Portugal face, I think their team will always have confidence because you've got Ronaldo in your squad. Whether he's not the Ronaldo that was at his prime, but who's even say when Ronaldo's in his prime?
Yeah, he's still hitting crazy numbers. What was it, like 30 or 40 odd goals this season, and that's not his best season.
Yeah, exactly. And Bruno's found the switch as well for Portugal. Let's forget they got Diego Jota. Bernardo Silva's been playing well as well. I really remember, when City won the league. No, I think when you guys won the league that season, though, Bernardo Silva was on fire. Was it that one or the year before?
Might have been the year before.
Bernardo Silva was just dangerous at Man City. But again, like we said, it's the system, isn't it? If you play the system to suit these good players like Lukaku, they'll show you that they're world class.
Yeah,
And I can't
yeah,
like in the Belgian game, when I kept mentioning how good that goal was, it all started off from that Lukaku doing like all the close control
yeah.
and get. I was
It was
like,
when he was sort of pushed out to the corner, and then you thought,
he
oh,
somehow
that's it.
took on
And
two players in
yeah, quickly
me.
dribbled past them onto Tielemans.
That De Bruyne finish, that was actually the most amazing
He
finish.
just hits it differently. It's crazy.
No, it's like it's never going off target, right? If De Bruyne, like, it's the way it bent around, like he hit it.
It
I
was
know
it was first going outside the post, and then it
yeah,
comes back in.
in a way, but I mean the commentators loving it as well.
Yeah,
Again, though, Belgium show the class. You show the world class players, and they prove it to you, and then there we go, you win games.
I
They,
still think defensively though, Belgium look a bit
we
vulnerable. Yeah,
yeah.
compared to like France, for example.
Who's their
I
second
mean,
centre back? Vertonghen with who?
um,
Or was it Alderweireld? Or was it them
they
two?
play a three. I think it's Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and they had Denia. I think it was yesterday or
Oh,
the
and
day
then
before.
Meunier's right wing back.
Yeah,
Meunier,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's old, isn't it? There's no pace there.
Mm,
But then everyone also says if you play a three at the back correctly, you should never lose a game. Like
mm.
if you play three at the back properly,
I think
like
Belgium have. It's almost like their last chance, really, with this like golden generation of players.
Belgium, what's it? No, De Bruyne kind of said that himself. He did a video on like for a brand with YouTube, and he said something. I think this is our last chance. I was like, oh. So I mean, they're aware, they're
Yeah.
self-aware, that they need to. I think Hazard needs to turn up. I think if Hazard turns up, he makes this tournament his. This is his chance to grab it, take
Mm,
Belgium, win the Euros during this golden generation. I think Hazard, then he can kind of get rid of that shocker of a season he's just had,
yeah, yeah.
and then maybe he can start good at Real Madrid.
Mm.
Would you want to see
Again,
him back in the
yeah.
Prem ever? Hazard, do you think it could ever happen? Like a
I
Chelsea
wouldn't mind
return?
seeing him back, but depends on who he'd go for. Because I mean, he sort of made a step up to Real Madrid.
But
He,
is
he
that even?
wants to.
It's a
He's
step
really got to
up.
win the like Champions League, really, with
Yeah,
like the likes of Real Madrid, hasn't he? And be their main man.
but it just shows now that Real Madrid don't have Ronaldo. Bloody hell, they got Hazard in to fill his boots. I think Hazard was the best. Like I don't blame them because if you're looking at the whole world, like, who could possibly even get close to filling Ronaldo's boots? You think Hazard? He was the best player in the Premier League,
Yeah,
and look what again
just been
shows Ronaldo
tormented with injuries, hasn't he?
shows the level of Ronaldo though, because like even with injuries, Ronaldo's just like everyone else. He can get injured, but he doesn't because of what sort of professional he is, and he looks
Mm,
after himself. No coke, you know. When you
yeah,
don't drink coke, you stay healthy. If you drink water,
definitely.
yeah. Ronaldo is a legend, man. I just think everyone's just. I love it how everyone appreciates him. He's not
Mm,
like a legend who everyone's like, "Oh, watch when he retires, then you're gonna know." Everyone knows it already.
yeah, definitely. He just turns up. I mean, he had that one chance against Hungary, didn't he? He missed it,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, he's got two goals at the end of the game, a
it's
penalty
like he
and
has a
that
switch.
goal. Yeah, the second goal as well.
Yeah, he has like this switch in his head where like you can't stop him. There's certain players you can't stop, and now that was the last Euros when you think of it, that was Ronaldo dragging that whole team, was it not? Would you agree? Or
Yeah,
they didn't really have any
maybe.
other like star players, did they?
No, not like they have now. They have a few more names now,
But
a
now
bit more
you could pick
established players.
like what 70% of their positions. You could argue the world class players. Right
Yeah.
back, Cancelo, Pepe. I don't know if he's world class, but that season he had in the Champions
Mm.
League, like it was a wicked season. Goalkeeper, who's the goalkeeper? Neves.
The Rui
Rui
Patricio.
Patricio, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good keeper, decent keeper.
Mm.
Bruno, Ronaldo,
Jota,
Jota, João
Bernardo.
Felix, Ronaldo Silva. Like
Yeah.
that's a squad. And midfield,
Mm.
have they got João Moutinho?
Yeah.
Look at the state of that. I genuinely think, like now when you think of it, it's Portugal or France. I think it always was. But I never really looked at Portugal this way. I was before the Euros. I'm set on France. I'm saying this is France's tournament. But yeah, so today is as we're recording this. Tonight is going to be England, Scotland. Give me some thoughts, Gordon.
It should be a comfortable game for England, especially after the way Scotland performed against Czech Republic. Scotland need to come out and they need to get 3 points really to stand any chance of qualifying for the knockout stages. So be an interesting game, and it sort of adds to that rivalry as well. But I think it should be a comfortable England win.
No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses.
I'm telling you, if they lose this, because I'm not a big fan of Gareth Southgate anyway. I don't think he knows what he's actually doing as a manager. I just don't think he's a great manager, because a great manager picks Grealish. Do you know what? Not even a great manager, an average manager picks Grealish. And I know we're like always talking about Grealish, yeah, but it's because he's that good. Like he genuinely is that good. There's no, yeah, you can say there's a bias, but even if you took away the bias, he's still the same. He's still like world-class player, doing it for Villa, and now you can surround him with arguably world-class players, right? And this guy can shine. So I think, hopefully, I genuinely think 3 goals, we can get today.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think Harry Kane, if he starts, I mean, bro, Scotland aren't serious, man. Like, Scotland don't have anyone. It's John McGinn.
I mean, this is their first major tournament in how many years? And I think after their performance, their first game, I think we sort of realised why it is.
Yeah, no, literally. Well, come on, I love Scott McTominay, but this guy's not going to drag a whole Scotland team, is he? Against England. I want to see Sancho playing. I want to see Sancho. This guy never. I don't know if he wasn't even on the bench against Croatia.
I don't think he was. I think he was left out of the 23. That's a bit strange as well, how they give you a 26-man squad, but only you allow you to name 23 for the game.
And you're meant to pick a 30-man squad and you're meant to pick a 30-man provisional squad. And Southgate picked a 33. See, this guy's not serious. We just do what they tell you to do, man. Like, I was telling you, we should beat Scotland so easily.
You never know. Harry Kane might be in the reserves today, not even on the subs bench.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with that. We don't need to use him, but I think get Harry Kane a goal, and the rest of the tournament you're going to see is that Harry Kane you're going to see. Because they always say with the strikers, you want them to get the goal as early as possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe Calvert-Lewin shows. You think Calvin Phillips will start?
Hopefully, I wouldn't mind if he starts with Rice, Phillips, and Mount again in the middle. They work really well. I didn't think they would. I thought it'd be like too defensive, but it did work well. Phillips got forward on one side, Mount on the other, and Rice as the holding midfielder.
I think it's good the way Rice gives them the license to attack. I think Rice was an unsung hero. You didn't hear his name from the commentators much, but every time you watched him, he just did his job, pushed the team up, and he allowed. Imagine if Rice isn't playing, Calvin Phillips doesn't get the chance to be in the third final quarter of the game. So Sterling was a questionable finish, but listen, it doesn't matter how they go.
Put the ball in the back of the net. That's all that counts.
But I'm just saying, Sterling's not trustworthy. This guy's taking shots from 35 yards, right, on the volley, right? Yeah, I can see it's not going in before he's hit the ball. Yeah, this guy, he always, have you noticed? His decision making so cool. He always takes the extra touch. He lets the ball roll for that extra second, and I'm just like,
there was a chance in the first half like that, wasn't there? Yeah.
He should have hit it, and he let the ball roll, and then he went to hit it, and then fluffed it. Thinking, mate, can't be doing this, because listen, that's how we could have got through when Harry Kane could have played the ball. We need to make decisions at the right time. But it's the group stages, so you can't really get onto them too much, can you? If this is a knockout stage, if it's like a semis, I think then you can really have a go at Sterling.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I think he's trusted in Sterling for like the first game, and I think he might for the rest of the tournament. Out of like the three of Sterling, Rashford, and Sancho, he's put his trust in Sterling, hasn't he? For the first game. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen tonight. It could change.
If you were England manager, are you putting Sterling in the squad tonight?
I don't know. I think I might because
Genuinely.
because he scored. He played all right.
To be fair, I get
But
you
then
carrying
again,
that
just to
momentum.
be on the fence, you would want Rashford and Sancho getting minutes as well
Yeah.
to see what they can produce. We could be even better than Sterling.
Do Scotland even have an ounce of pace, except for Kieran Tierney? And
I
Kieran
can't
Tierney is
name
so.
anyone.
I mean, listen. I don't watch Kieran Tierney, but the way Arsenal fans talk about Kieran Tierney, like you think he's Roberto Carlos. I don't hear anyone talk about Kieran Tierney except for Arsenal fans online. So listen, I'm like, come on, man, no one's fussed about. But who even played right wing for us against Croatia?
Foden.
Yeah, he hit the post in the early on.
Yeah, and I
I
thought
was thinking
that was
if
it.
that
He's
goes
just
in,
getting started.
and if that goes in,
Yeah.
they will see a good 2-3 now.
Mm.
But Croatia didn't look like they were going to score, did they?
No, they didn't have that main target like that with Mandzukic.
I think it'll
I
be the
think
same tonight.
was it Kramaric? Yeah, playing for Croatia.
Perisic.
Perisic, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Scotland. I mean, who's going to look like they're going to score for Scotland? So, again, I think this is just easy. Shouldn't be an issue with this game tonight. And Southgate will get his praises after. I'm sure he'll get his praises because it will lead us to a victory against Scotland, right? And the world can act like we've just beaten France in the final.
Yeah.
But I think, do you know, if we're going to win the group, right, it's almost inevitable. Apparently, I've heard this. We're guaranteed to face one of the big three. So France, Germany, or Portugal.
Yeah,
no, France,
we're
Germany.
tied with them. Yeah.
Who else is in the group? Is it Portugal? It's the Portugal group.
France, Germany, Portugal, yeah,
Yeah.
and Hungary.
We'll face one of them basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you think? Who's the most beatable out of them then?
Ooh. I'd say Germany, just because they're going through a sort of transition period at the moment. They've had a few sort of shock results over the past year or so. I think they lost to North Macedonia, didn't they, at one stage?
Yeah.
So
what was the Germany score? Oh, France lost to Germany 1-0, yeah. You know what? It wasn't a bad performance, though. It wasn't like a shocking performance, but definitely France could have easily got that score a lot higher.
Yeah. If they were onside for like those two goals that were disallowed.
Then that would have been very embarrassing for Germany. Do you know what? Germany didn't get far in the World Cup either, did they? And that was a big surprise.
No. Was it Mexico, I think, that knocked them out?
What do you think it is about Germany? It's just not, they're not the same as they once were. What is it? What do you put it down to?
I mean, you've got to remember, like, back in 2010, 2012, then the likes of Lahm, Schweinsteiger, who else? That Closer, was it up front?
Yeah, Miroslav
He used to score so many international goals. Now I think obviously those players have retired. Now they're in that period of they're going through that period of like just finding out their best players, the best formation, that sort of thing. They've still got top players. But it's just about how they make it work. And I think that's why I'd hope we get them. Because
and it's always
France
a big
and
match
Portugal.
as well. England, Germany.
Yeah,
big game.
Definitely. I think we'd have to play someone from when we did the Euro table thing.
Yeah.
We went through each team. Didn't we have to play like Poland or something in like the round of 16? Then it was the quarterfinals where we'd have France, Germany, or Portugal.
Yeah, I think it was. But I do think we will see a big game where we do face one of the three. And I think it will be either France or Portugal. Okay, do you even think we'll make it past the first game? So when we get out of these group stages, do you think we'll win do you think we get it past that? Or do we just lose straight away?
It depends on the team.
But I think even if the team's average, like a Switzerland wrap us up, like genuinely. You know what? Switzerland were good yesterday. I am talking about Switzerland, right? Oh no, Denmark, sorry, Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braithwaite, that header, I mean, that was almost in. The one where hit the crossbar at the end. So, and they didn't play that bad. They definitely, it was like a classic United. It's like a United performance. When you're down, then they switch it on. Denmark switched it on. So I was I'm not scared of them. Of course, it's Denmark, but got some good players. Obviously, Ericsson, but their best player had the incident, so that was definitely not nice to see. How do you feel about that being televised? Like, it's crazy though.
It was, yeah, it was wrong to be televised for that long. I think the BBC should have cut it off,
I mean, do you know
as
when he
soon
was
as
on the
possible.
floor, they put the camera on his wife like it's a movie. Like the whole world needs to
Yeah, it
see this
was,
family issue.
yeah, that wasn't right. I mean, it was good that the players sort of guarded him around, didn't they? They
Yeah.
sort of stood around him to make sure that they couldn't put the camera on him. And
Mm.
was it their captain that had to perform CPR or something as well?
Yeah,
Or
it
did
actually
something?
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did do it, and
So
he saved his life. But yeah, it was definitely a shame to see, and hopefully we can see Ericsson on the pitch again because these type of incidents sort of take you out of the sport completely because you can't
mm,
risk playing the game, can you? And you
yeah.
know, even Mourinho said, and Mourinho's not really a manager to compliment players, is he? Mourinho said, Ericsson is very good. But even when the whole thing about Ericsson wanting to leave in the documentary, no bad words to say about Ericsson. I
Mm.
mean, if do you remember the documentary? Ericsson was actually really polite when speaking to Mourinho.
The Tottenham
Yeah,
documentary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
he's a
Yeah, he
top
was
guy. So
definitely.
hopefully we can see him on the pitch. But yeah, I mean, if not, we've got memories, good goals. Like he
Mm.
lit up the Premier League in Tottenham games. So yeah, we wish him the best. And it was definitely sad to see. First time I've seen something like that level.
Mm. It
Because
was.
I wasn't watching it. I'd heard about it, and then I was hearing on the radio, and then one of the reporters was just having a huge go at BBC for like basically showing
Yeah,
it on TV. When let's be honest, there's no excuses in Denmark. The people who were showing it on TV, they cut away from it and they started showing whatever, like B-roll footage or anything. It
mm.
was just for viewers, wasn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't right at all. I
It
mean,
wasn't
it
right.
was. I think they had to carry on playing as well, didn't they, that evening?
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
Otherwise,
Would you?
that that was wrong. I mean, the players, what they must have been feeling,
Yeah,
losing their captain. Was he their captain or like the main
he's a
star
star
man?
player. Yeah,
Yeah, the star player like that. He's like their friend as well. Colleague.
yeah.
It's just
International football's like a brotherhood. Like look at all of the English players. It's a really tight knitted group,
yeah.
and it's obviously going to affect players if something like that happens. I do believe the match should have been rescheduled
Mm,
because by the looks of it now, Denmark are not making it out the group stages, are they?
no, I think they're bottom of the group now. I think,
Yeah,
aren't they?
they had to
Yeah.
win yesterday. They
Mm,
had to win, so it's a shame. But I guess it's happened now. So we'll move on to another segment, which I just thought of while we're doing this. So now that you've seen these first few games, who's going to be the standout man in the tournament now for England and in general? Now that we've seen
oh,
everyone kind of, have a little
for
go.
England. I mean, after the first game, yeah, you could even say Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, you could though.
Um,
That's how they make their name, isn't it? Like he's going into
yeah.
this tournament thinking, Leeds. I'm not from the big six
Mm.
compared to
And
Rashford, these other players.
he's not like the first name on the team sheet as well because he's
Exactly.
got Jordan Henderson, who was injured, and Declan Rice ahead of him. But he's turned up. He was
Exactly.
on the team sheet for the first game, and he had a great performance.
Nothing. There's literally nothing more you can ask from a player. He's literally done what a manager would say. Listen, go out
Yeah.
there and prove to me why you should be on the team sheet, and he's done it.
Mm.
I'm still betting on Foden.
Do you
I think
think?
Foden can. He can. Obviously, I'm going to say Grealish, but people are going to be fed up of us just talking about Grealish
Yeah,
all the time.
it should be called the Grealish podcast, really.
Yeah, man. When Grealish plays, we're going to get a podcast out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about Grealish for 2 hours. No, but Foden's special. So, and the whole tournament, then, what do you think? You're going to be stand-up player.
I think for France, it's got to be Mbappe, hasn't it? Mbappe,
Imagine that though. This
crazy.
guy's literally just. You could just say he just started his career. This guy's going to have a World Cup, and ultimately he's going to have a Euro as well.
Mm,
Getting the Champions League soon. He'll
mm.
make it happen somehow. whether it's at
Crazy
PSG,
player.
whether it's at Real Madrid, or
Mm.
I don't want to say the other team. You
Liverpool.
know, it could, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't really believe. Like, has anything even happened in transfer window yet?
It's just been rumours at the moment, I think.
All the rumors.
And I think our owners would only do that if, say, for example, Mane, Salah, or Firmino
When,
ends
yeah.
up leaving, because it's big money that they're asking for.
I mean, I know this isn't about the Euros, but we're still on the football topic. I'll ask you, what do you think? So about Mane, Salah, Firmino. It, they say that a three, so an attacking pair. They tend to be it's 3 seasons, 3-4 seasons, and
Mm.
then it just doesn't work after that. And I personally believe one of them will leave. Who would you want to leave? I know you wouldn't want any of them to leave, but if you just say get rid of one, who would it be?
Um, well, a lot of people first saying Salah. I think that's wrong.
You
I
think?
mean, his numbers are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
I
Even I
don't know
was
why
surprised
we
how he did
could.
it last year. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
I mean, he's still got what 20 plus goals, and he probably got a few assists along the
Yeah,
way as well. It's just crazy that we could even entertain the thought of leaving, letting someone like him leave. I mean, I do understand on the pitch, sometimes he is selfish, sometimes he does take the chance for himself, but that's what
yeah.
makes the best players, doesn't it, really?
But if you compare
You're
it to
judged.
Mane, this guy
I
had
mean,
a shocking season
yeah.
in my eyes.
I mean, we
Because
saw
like,
we saw glimpses of the Mane, a few seasons ago in the last game, um, and he seemed to be sort of back to normal. I mean, he even said that he had some tests done, didn't he, to see if
I
he
haven't
was
heard.
yeah, some mental tests. I think it was on physical tests to see if anything was wrong with him, as why he was performing so bad.
Genuinely,
Yeah,
I just think maybe it's over time. You're just tired and you can't perform the way you could perform. Top elite level football. Premier League is always elite level football, and you're playing in the Champions League, and you're not just playing in the Champions. You're going the whole length in the Champions League. As that's what 3 seasons now. I just think it takes a toll on you in the long run, and I
mm,
think we've seen that in the whole Liverpool team, which is why we've
mm,
been seeing the injuries
yeah,
because
yeah,
all that hard work is starting to take its toll. And as you, I think the Van Dijk thing that's different though. That wasn't really his fitness. That was just Pickford, which people have just brushed past that, right?
I
like,
know.
like Pickford
It's
didn't
such a
just end
massive thing
Liverpool's
to brush
career.
past.
No,
Yeah,
it is genuine. I remember when it happened. You get as a United fan, you do see it, and you're like, "That's it." Like Liverpool are getting nowhere this year.
yeah.
But then it's like
It's
Van Dijk's
and it
nice to
wasn't
watch
just
at the
him,
end of
and
the
then
day.
it was Gomez as well. He got injured as well for the
Yeah,
remainder of the season. I think we'll be a different force next season, definitely.
we'll have to see. I think next year is going to be crazy because everyone's leveling up. After seeing Chelsea in the Champions League,
Yeah,
I think Spurs are just completely gone now at this point. Didn't Bielsa? No, who was it? Conte said Tottenham wasn't a big enough club for him, basically, or big.
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
basically just said that. Like
I think they've had 8 managers reject the Tottenham job now.
really, and that's
It's
after
it's
Mourinho's had
crazy.
the job. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you know what managers are thinking. Right, okay, say what you want about Mourinho, but as a manager, you look at Mourinho the way another footballer looks at Ronaldo, isn't it? It's like,
mm,
this is the man at the top. And Mourinho couldn't do anything, right? You're thinking, right, this man couldn't do it. What am I going to do at this team?
yeah.
And that's Mourinho with years of experience. So, yeah,
I
I
think
don't know
if
who their
if
next manager is going to be.
if Kane leaves, I think that is Tottenham definitely done.
Do you think it's an if or do you think it's a guarantee of him leaving?
I mean, there are big rumors going about, but nothing's been set in
I
stone yet.
think
I think we'll see
yeah,
after the Euros. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
I don't think anything's going to happen during the Euros. I don't think Harry Kane's that sort of a player, sort of a
I'm
person
pretty, yeah, I think he
to
knows
be
he's
doing
leaving
something. Yeah.
because he did a
So
video with Gary Neville, like an interview. And it was almost like, yeah, you're leaving. And the way he
mm,
behaved on the final game for Tottenham, it was like
mm.
it was like Hazard. Do you remember when Chelsea won was it the league or the Champions League?
The
And the,
Europa League, I think it was.
and then they said to Hazard, like, "Are you going to be here next year?" And he just said,
I think this is a farewell.
Yeah.
He said something about that,
And
didn't he?
even
Yeah.
as like not a Chelsea fan, I was like, oh man, that
Like,
was
no.
hurt. I was
Yeah.
like, that would hurt a lot because Hazard was a beautiful player to watch. But
Mm.
everything comes to an end. Messi and the Copa America. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I had no clue that was happening. I had no clue.
Same.
I
until
had
he
no
until he
clue.
scored the free kick the other day.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? I saw the Brazil because I saw like Neymar must have done something on Twitter. I was like,
Mm.
wait, this is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, is the African Cup of Nations happening as well? Is that separate?
I don't think so, no.
I
Yeah,
mean, do you
because
know?
Mane was sitting with
Yeah.
the president of Senegal, I think he was. Or he's certainly doing something with them. I don't know what exactly, but it doesn't seem like the African Cup of Nations going on. I think that goes on in the like December time, doesn't it?
Oh, and the players miss out on the season, don't they?
Yeah,
Because I remember Torre when Yaya Torre used to play, he would miss out games at Man City because he was at the AFCON.
yeah. So
Yeah.
not sure when it's next on.
You know what we need to do? We need to do like an episode where we're talking about like, just like reminiscing on some old players, like a Yaya Toure,
Yeah.
like someone who like you watch Match of the Day and you understand how good he is, but then you still take it for granted like a tiny bit.
It's crazy how he's over 6 foot tall and he's just gliding past players,
It gave me
it's
like
crazy.
I think that's because we're not old enough to have seen like Vieira in his prime. Maybe
Mm,
that's like the closest you can ever get, like for us seeing
maybe,
it.
yeah.
Because this guy was like played CDM or centre mid, but the way he just carried the ball from one box to the other box,
Yeah.
right? It was like, how's he even done that? He took like four
Yeah.
strides. He's like he's 4 strides and he's in
Yeah.
the opposition
Yeah.
box, literally. Oh, yes, should we just finish it off talking about Aguero leaving
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
and how that's a real end of an era?
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, uh, what I mean, how did you view Aguero?
Aguero. I mean, he probably gave us the Premier League moment, and yeah, I think it's going to be pretty unforgettable
Yeah.
and pretty hard to beat that moment.
Do you know what? It's
Um,
because it's the start of that this what we're seeing with Man City, isn't it?
the man's yeah,
Yeah. I'm not going to say Man City era because you just can't say that. You know, you can't say stuff like that. That's kind of illegal. You can't be saying Man
mm,
City era, but it arguably it is, isn't it? Like I know they bottled it at Champions League. I
yeah,
mean, they could have won the double. So this is huge, Man City. I think Aguero. I would have played him in the final for longer. You know, I wouldn't have just brought him
mm,
on for 10 minutes. Pep got that all wrong.
yeah. I mean, I think if he started with Fernandinho, Rodri in that role, and I think was it Sterling? Yes, Sterling was a surprise. If he did that, then it might have been a different game. Well, I
What's
mean, it would have been
Sterling
a
got on
different
his
game.
managers, man? Like, how is he like? He's blackmailing
He's
his
probably got
managers, man.
something on
I'm
all of
telling
them.
you.
Yeah,
Got something like one of them because this guy's starting and he's not meriting his starts, right? Even when he's
yeah.
playing on the pitch, it's not validating his starts. Where you got Sancho and you got Rashford, you should be starting over him. So
Mm.
yeah, let's do the predictions and let's quickly cap it off. I'm going with 3-0 England
I'll go
tonight.
with 3-0 as well. Yeah.
3-0 goal scorers. I'm saying Kane with 2 and let's see, Foden with 1. But I'm going off my head thinking that Grealish isn't playing. So
All right. I think Kane. I think one of the defenders. I think John Stones
little header.
header from a corner. Yeah. Um, then I think one of the wingers. Like depends whether it's like Sterling or Foden. I think it'd be one of them as well.
You know what? I wouldn't be
Hopefully
surprised if
Grealish
it's
starts.
Sterling.
Hopefully he does.
It's entertaining, man. We want entertainment. Like you could play a rubbish game. I promise you, everyone would just be happy that Grealish is on the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know we went off into like Premier League, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a football-based podcast, so it doesn't really matter too much. We've given our thoughts on the big Euro teams and your England games, and we'll be back very soon with the next update on the games. We'll be talking about the England Croatia game and anything else big that
Scotland.
happens. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, and anything big that happens in the week. So yeah, see you guys next time.